Hey, good evening, Women in Sync. It's Audra Upchurch, founder of this amazing community. And I know it's kind of late, but I wanted to pop in and just touch base with you guys. I haven't really been living as much this week, and I wanted to kind of touch base with you on some things I see and comments I see happening within the community. Now, this week has been pretty amazing. If you agree, put in the comments hashtag it's been amazing. You know, one, just to have another day to live and breathe is amazing in itself, right? I've learned to be thankful for all that I have and not give too much focus to all the other stuff. So yes, we're going to be thankful and we're going to say this week is amazing. But I've been taking a lot of time to develop a program for our Women in Sync ambassadors, who I know you all love. That's Patrice Brown, LaToshia Hamilton, and Shana Davis. So let's give them a shout out and a big congratulations. They'll be starting their ambassador training on Sunday. So, let's give them congratulations, whether you're watching live or whether you're catching the replay. So make sure you congratulate those ladies because they're amazing, and it's going to be an interesting process for them. But I definitely believe that as leaders, you have to lead from the front. Right? And so I've placed them in this position, and I want to make sure they have the tools to be successful at it. And so keep that in mind for any future ambassadors we have watching out there. So I wanted to, hey Lady V, thank you so much for joining. So I'm taking a break away from developing the content for their ambassador program, which is going to be awesome. Good evening, yes, Lady V. Good evening. I'm in my sunroom and I'm kind of cold. That's why I have a jacket on. Usually I heat up the sunroom before I come out here and broadcast, but this was kind of just on a spur of the moment. Thought about you ladies and popped on in. So I'm cold, so just excuse the jacket. Hey, Michelle, thank you also for popping in. So I've created the content for the ladies, for the ambassadors in the program, so we're going to congratulate them. And I wanted to touch base on a couple of comments and themes I've seen in the community this week. So we've been talking a lot about self-reflection, right? And to me, every day in our community, it becomes more evident how important self-reflection truly is. If you agree, put in the comments, I can relate. A lot of our struggles and a lot of our hang-ups and a lot of the major obstacles that we have in front of us, if we're truthful about it, they all start with us. As women, a lot of times we don't want to be honest with ourselves about what's going on, whether it's too painful to address, or we sometimes feel if we click our heels 3 times, our circumstances will miraculously change, right? And so we don't deal with things head on a lot of times. Come on, ladies, if I'm talking to you, talk back to me. A lot of times we don't address things head on until we're forced to. And then by that point, we're pissed off, we're angry, we want to snap on somebody, when the reality is, right, we saw it coming a long time ago. When the reality is, the situation was pretty much always apparent. It makes me think about when I was in the military and I went into the OCS program. The very first day in OCS, there were only 3 ladies, the rest were men, in class 4-7. And the very first day, the TAC officer said to us, he asked the females, how many of you are married? And, one lady raised her hand. He said, okay, you'll be gone in 2 months. And me and the other lady that was still standing there were like, whatever. So then he asked, who has kids, who's in college, who has a job, and he went through all these different things. So as the 3 of us responded, he wrote us off. And that ticked us off. We're like, we are in the officer program. We got this. So what, we might have a husband or a boyfriend or kids, we're going to finish this program. Hey, Michelle, thank you for joining. And we got pretty offended. But the reality is, the TAC officer was right. Of the 3 ladies that started the program, not one of us finished. Not one. Somebody hashtag that's sad. Not one of us finished. You know, it's unfortunate, but our male counterparts don't have all the considerations that we do. And as women, we're trained to be self-sacrificing. We're taught to give it all. And the reality is, though, that mindset isn't really serving us very well. It's not serving us very well. We want to be honest about it. You know, I had a coaching call with someone last week, and that's the greatest thing, and I think April posted about it today in Coach Speak and Serve, is that if you're a coach and you're not being coached, there's a problem. I'll say that again. If you're a coach and you're not being coached, there's a problem. It's just like growing up in church, right? I always said, if I have a pastor that doesn't have a pastor, then he can't be my pastor. My pastor has to have a pastor, because you have to be willing to hear from somebody. Because in order to be a good leader, you have to first be a good follower, right? So, hey, I'm trying to see what you guys are saying. Okay, so anyway, the TAC officer explained that as women, we're going to give it all. And while that may have been great, like when I had my coaching session last week, that may have been great for our grandmothers, right? Who, a lot of our grandmothers were homemakers, or if they had a job, it wasn't a really taxing job, right? So they could give everything because their cup was still being filled by other things, because their job wasn't, they weren't the primary breadwinners. Their job was not what kept the household together, right? So our grandmothers were able to still get fed through other things they did, activities in church. You know, they had a life outside of their job, and they didn't have the pressure on them to maintain a household, right? So our grandmothers could be that all self-sacrificing woman. And that was fine for her generation because she was able to still be filled in other areas. Where the difficulty lies is our mothers' generations and our own, where we have a different reality. A lot of us have full-time jobs that if we're not working them, our household does not work. If you can relate, put in the comments hashtag, I can relate. A lot of us have jobs because if we don't work, we don't eat. If we don't work, the rent don't get paid. If we don't work, there's no gas in the car, right? And so we're spending 8 hours a day working, 2+ hours a day commuting. We get home, we're drained. We've given all out, and we're not getting filled back in. And this imbalance now that's happening of this expectation of still being everything to everyone and then giving everything to our jobs, we have to make even more certain that we're being filled. I posted a video a few weeks back, probably about 2 or 3 months back, that with Ayanna Vincent and Oprah, that talked about you giving from your overflow. A lot of us, not only can we not give from the overflow, our darn cups are pretty empty. Our cups are so dried out, you can flip them over and nothing happens. Nothing comes out, not even a drop. Because we've given and given and given, and we give out our jobs all day because we got to be these great corporate powerhouses, right? Then we come home and we got to cook the dinner and wash the dishes and, you know, do the laundry and do all this stuff. And we're giving and we're giving and we're giving and we're giving and we're giving. So when it comes time for us to do self-reflection, when it comes time for us to make sure we get what we need, we just don't. We just can't deal. And it's not good for us, ladies. We are not serving ourselves in this capacity. That may have worked well for your grandmother, but she didn't have the responsibilities that you have. You have got to be true to yourself. I said to one of my coaching clients today, if you don't figure out a way to put yourself first, you are doing so much damage. Because whether you realize it or not, putting yourself first is one of the most selfless things you can do. Because if something happens to you, what happens to your children? For the ladies that are watching live or watching the replay, if something happens to you, what happens to your children? We cannot continue to put ourselves first and wear it as put ourselves last and wear it as something to be proud of. We have to begin to put ourselves first. Our children are depending on us. Our families need us here. And they need us here. They need us happy, not depressed. You know, I shared with someone today. I can honestly say my daughter did not grow up with a happy mother. I was not a mother that had any type of inner happiness at all. And I can be honest with that. And it hurts to say it, but I can't fix it if I don't address it or acknowledge it, right? Hey, Shana, thanks for tuning in. Yes, Lady D, something must give. Something must give. Because I didn't tap into my own inner happiness raising my daughter, it had a direct effect on who she became as an adult. A lot of times as mothers, we don't want to acknowledge that the decisions we're making are affecting our children. Hey, Pat Lucas, thank you so much for joining. The decisions we make affect our children. But let me tell you something, not making a decision is a decision. Not acknowledging your reality is a decision. And when our children witness and watch us growing up, we're miserable. We're walking in unhappiness. We're cozy in our handcuffs, right? Living in bondage. What are you telling your children? Because I don't care what you say with your mouth. Your kids are going to do what they see. They're going to do what they see. What are you showing them? Somebody hashtag show them happiness. Somebody hashtag that. Show them happiness. We want our children to be well-adjusted adults. How are they supposed to know what that is if we don't give them the example? And that all starts with you. As their mother, you're their first example. So love on you and feel okay with doing that. Don't allow the world, don't allow your friends, don't allow your family, heck, I'm sorry, but don't even allow your church friends. I'm going to keep it real. Don't allow nobody to convince you that you should be last on your list. You are not doing a service to yourself or to your family. You deserve happiness, so give yourself permission to have it. This is the only life we're going to get, ladies. This is it. It's not a dress rehearsal. Most of us are in the mid part of our lives. What are you going to do? It's time to face it because it all starts with you. So I'm going to go ahead and go, guys. I think I heard my hubby come in. He shoots pool on Thursday night. So I just wanted to pop in and encourage you to put yourself first, not just with words, but in actions. And take small steps. It's not going to be easy when you're not accustomed to it. It's going to seem really weird and really awkward when you look around and no one else is doing it. It's okay. It's okay. Your children will thank you for it one day. Michelle said, permission granted. Happy is the goal. Yes, it should be. Yes, happiness should be the goal. So I'm going to run, guys. I hope you have an amazing evening. Know that you matter. You are important. And that it all starts with you. I'm Audra Upchurch, founder of this amazing, amazing community. I love you guys, and I'll be popping in later on this weekend. Chat with you later. Oh, don't forget to congratulate our Women in Sync ambassadors. Don't forget to congratulate them. Talk to you soon. Bye.